Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we'll be doing something interesting. We'll be making ChatGPT rank top 25 characters in Marvel Contest of Champions. And before we start, I do a lot of ranking, so it would be interesting to see how accurate this is, but it doesn't account for anything after 2021. So no characters of 2022 and 2023 will be included. Still, it should be pretty accurate. Even then, we have like 214 characters for it to rank and the best 25 from it. And we'll see how accurate that is and if Marvel Contest of Champion YouTubers are in threat, I guess. ChatGPT overall is very helpful for a lot of stuff. So let's see. Dr. Doom at 1, Symbiote Supreme at 2nd. Okay, so this is interesting. Let it come and then we'll discuss. See, ranking is always subjective, but from what I'm seeing here, I personally do not agree. There are some things. Okay, so let me do one thing. I don't know if it accounts for till the end of 2021. So let's remove that also. Just this pool, I would say Doctor Doom at 1 is not bad pick. Personally, I think Hercules is, and he is a 2021 champion. But of all these 190 characters, I would agree that Doctor Doom could be number 1. Ghost is a candidate. Quake, I don't know if he is it is considering Quake, so not excluding because it's not available as 6-star. So I'm not sure. But Doctor Doom at 1 is at least not wrong. But Symbiote Supreme at 2, I feel like, a few years ago, even when Symbiote Supreme was released, he was never the best Mystic, even in my opinion. So for him to be at number 2 overall definitely doesn't seem right. He is really, really good if it's a matchup where there are a lot of buffs involved. If you're wondering, let me just talk about all the characters a little bit while we're going into it. Nick Fury at 3. Again, personally, I would just have to have Ghost at number 1 or 2. And if you are going to include Quake, you have to give her a very high spot, especially if you're considering a few years like 2020. I think Quake was considered as the best character in the game, and if not, then Ghost was number 2, and then Doom probably at 3. So Nick Fury was still, probably top 5 according to most people. I would say, according to me, even he's still arguably the best skill character in the game. Some people would say Shang-Chi, some people would say it depends. Kingpin I guess is I think I rank Kingpin as the best skill right now, but Nick Fury is close. Top 3, I think it's kind of debatable. So I don't mind Nick Fury at number 3. Captain Marvel movie, she was extremely popular a few years ago, but I don't think even in 2020 characters like Cosmic Ghost Rider were out there. So having her, let's just filter it by cosmic class. So I would say Cosmic Ghost Rider was clearly better than her, and then Corvus at 2020, I think Corvus would probably be peak meta champion, I would assume. I would say even if he was not considered the best cosmic, probably better than CMM. And then Hyperion, I would say, was probably considered better than Captain Marvel movie. But it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not like Symbiote Supreme being up there. So maybe if she was in the list, I would have accepted it. But 4 is kind of high for her. And Ghost, I think, should have been higher. Human Torch, fair pick. Could have been higher. Even here is fine, I think. As best science champion, let's see science. I still think he's the best science, so I feel like it's fair, completely fair to have Human Torch at number 6. Now Sunspot is 7. I do not agree. Few people would. Sunspot had a lot of hype. He still has a lot of a dedicated fan base. I feel like he lacks on some stuff. For beginner, I get it, because Perfect Block is just such a good utility to have, but overall, grand scheme of things, he doesn't bring that much utility to the table. The damage is definitely good, so it's okay. If I don't think he should be ahead of Omega Red. That is what I'm gonna say. Especially 2020, I would think that a lot of people considered Omega Red to be the strongest mutant. in the game. Let's see the mutant class here for a second. I would say like even then Archangel must have existed, right? Like Archangel is super old, but yeah, like Apocalypse was there. So I would say Omega Red, like I would say Apocalypse, Archangel, Apocalypse, and Omega Red were all probably gonna be above Sunspot. Now, 2020, did we have like I think rank threes were max, and Sunspot had really high prestige at some rank. I think rank three, maybe because of that. I'm not sure how he comes up above Omega Red in any case, so I'm not super happy with this placement, but okay, kind of acceptable. Venom the Duck on 9, however, I cannot accept this. You know, above like Venom the Duck, above Hyperion, so I don't see CGR on this list, so I assume he is not in the data set, right? But still, Hyperion is there definitely, just one spot above him, and there was no time, no situation where anybody I would say would agree that Venom the Dark is better than Hyperion. Like the only game mode that could happen is maybe Incursions, but even Incursions, I think Hyperion is also pretty damn strong. But yeah, I definitely do not agree. I don't think Venom the Duck belongs to be on this list at all, even in 2020. You know, I don't hate the character. He has potential, and he is decent enough for a lot of stuff. For one of the like symbiote variant, he was really good, I believe, and stuff. But yeah, no. Top 10, even a few years back, no, definitely not. I do not agree with this. But if you do let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I am being hard on Venom the Duck here. Hyperion at 10, I agree. Again, I don't think he should be so far below Captain Marvel movie. Ideally should be above her, but okay. Then moving on, we have Warlock. I think Warlock should be, again, not below characters like Venom the Dark and Sunspot or Captain Marvel movie, but alright. I think it's fair enough to rank him here. Corvus, I think it's fair. Egon, I think it's fair because Abyss was more relevant back then. People were chasing, dual crystals. I'm not sure if they were introduced around this time. A lot of people was chasing for Aegon, including me a few years ago. So Aegon has always been a character who has been good for very few things, Incursions being one of them, Labyrinth style content being another, even some celebrity challenges. He was really good for that, and I think we haven't seen one in a while, but Aegon used to be pretty good for even I've heard. Okay, so I haven't tried Act 8 just 8.2 yet, but I heard from someone in my Discord that he is pretty good for a few things there. But Aegon at 13, I accept this. Not now, but 2020 list, I probably would have Aegon there at some point. I was making lists in 2020, so like if we want to check, we can check. I would be interested to see how many characters are even a match, and it would be kind of interesting to see. Sentinel, okay, let's see. Tech, I would say Warlock definitely the best character here. Ghost be the best character here, then Warlock. Okay, they were both in the list already, so fair enough. Third, maybe Guillotine 2099 I would have put above Sentinel. Maybe Starkey above Sentinel. These days I would, because he's really good in Battlegrounds, but there was a time where Sentinel was probably considered. It's okay, like it doesn't stand out as wrong. Like if I saw this in 2020, I wouldn't be upset. Like fair list. Alright, I can get around with this. Killmonger is fine. I think above Blade. I also have him above Blade in recent rankings. Somebody was upset the other day in the skill ranking comment section that I had Killmonger above Blade. I think Killmonger gained a lot of value with Battlegrounds because of him being an all-rounder, in the sense that he can be used offensively as well as defensively. Plus he got a crazy synergy with, I believe, Black Panther, where after the SP3 you can still go for another one with your Bleeds double or something. So it's all right to have him above Blade. It's not all right to have him above Cap Infinity War. That's what I'm gonna say. So because Cap Infinity War in 2020, again, if we go back to science, after Human Torch was, in my opinion, the second best character here. Yeah, for sure, he was the second best character at that time in the science class. So to have Human Torch at 6 is very fair, but then Cap at 16, like it was very heated debate between Cap Infinity War, Human Torch, and Void at one point. I think Void really fell off. Cap has gone down a bit, and we have some new characters like top science champions like Quicksilver and Scorpion at the top. So Cap, I would say, is probably like not even top 5 or barely top 5 in the science class at this point. But in 2020, he was the second best science, so should have been around like top. Replace him with Venom. Venom the Duck should go out of the list. Anyways, enough hate on Venom the Duck for today. Blade. So 2020 skill. Mole Man was probably not buffed. I'm not sure. These things, last few years, COVID especially went really quickly. So I'm not sure if Mole Man was buffed in 2020. But if not, then I would say Nick Fury best. Kingpin again, I'm not sure if he was buffed or not. So to have Blade at 17 is not like, if you're ignoring the buffs, then Mole Man was terrible initially. Kingpin was not up there. Who else? Crossbones was not up there. Black Panther was not up there. So who else is there in the skill class then after Nick Fury? So probably like Blade and Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey these days I would say is much better character than Blade, but back then, best region champion, still coming off out of the Holy Trinity meta. Just about Stark and Spider-Man, by the way. So, it's okay, like it's fair. I think it's alright. Now Stark and Spider-Man I think is alright here. Even in a current list. Let's see. This is my current top 25 list. Like it's a few months old. We don't have Starkey anywhere, so okay. But it's alright. Like Starkey being in the list a few years ago is very, very understandable. So, and he's not super up, so it's fine. I agree with him being there. Yeah, and behind Warlock, so makes sense. Behind Sentinel, I'm not sure, but alright. Quake being this low does not make sense. Either include her and have her at number 1, number 2, number 3, or don't include her. I do the second thing personally. I feel like that's the best way to go about it now, with 7 stars coming in soon and a character that is not even available. Like if today I tell you there's a character but only as a 4-star, that means nothing to me. Okay, and even if you are someone new, you're into 4 stars right now, you'll move on to 5 stars like this. It's not gonna. So I think eventually, like a few years down the line, when 7 stars start becoming common, 6 stars is gonna be the main thing, and 5 stars, people, even new accounts, people won't really be ranking them up that much. And if it was a normal character, I would still say go for it, because you can still get a lot of, like, if someone new comes in and tell me I got a 4-star Cosmic Coast Rider, I would say go for it, rank him up. But Quake is interesting because it takes a lot of time to learn her, and then if you can't use her later on, then what's the point of getting all that effort into, like, putting all that effort into that one character? So if you are like, it's a complicated scenario. Do let me know if you want people, but whatever the case, this is not right. Like, you can't have Quake at 19. You have to have a super high or don't have her at all. Then we have Thing. Fair enough, he had a lot of immunities, his protection was really, really strong. I'm not sure if 6.2 came around this time. I feel like probably, Act 7 should not have been out by then. Like, he was a very good counter to the 6.2 thing. The 6.2 champion boss, a lot of people were using there. A few variants you could really crush, like the celebrity, what was the weekly, like, big challenge Omega Boss Rush thing? I personally used Thing there. It was one of my one of the first videos that really did it for me. Like got over 30,000 views when I had probably 500 600 subscribers, so that was huge for me. So using thing with synergies was pretty crazy. It still is. You will be surprised to see the damage because people don't use it as often. But having him at 20, I do not disagree. I will take it. Domino 21 is again something, it's fine. Domino back then was losing value, if you ask me. People were realizing how RNG dependent she was, and again she regained that value in my opinion in Battlegrounds. But even then, Archangel, Apocalypse, I think some people at that time would have considered Sunspot and Havoc to be better than Domino, just because of her not being super reliable. But alright, it's fair. It doesn't stand out as wrong. Again, Archangel at 22 is definitely incorrect. He should have been way higher. I think if you replace Sunspot and Archangel, this list mutant wise would make a lot of sense. How did Symbiote Supreme get at 2? I will never know. Okay, is there a mistake after? Was Magic at 23? We haven't seen Mystics. This is interesting. Sorcerer Supreme should have been there. Black Widow Clairvoyant should have been there. Alright, I think that's it for Mystic. All you needed was Doom, followed by Black Widow Clairvoyant, followed by Sorcerer Supreme. Diablo buff was not relevant there. Is it Symbiote Supreme or Sorcerer Supreme? Wait. Oh. It is Symbiote Supreme. Maybe they meant Sorcerer Supreme. That would make more sense. I'm not sure. You have to accept that Marvel Contest of Champions in the entire world is not the most popular game. So the fact that it even has it just even come up with a list, which is not completely incorrect, is fine. So just having one or two big mistakes is kind of it's alright. We'll take it, I guess. Moving up, we have Magic. I think I discussed. It's fine. I think Claire and Sorcerer deserves to be there more. Tigra, I'm not sure if people were good with Tigra back then, but if they were, then of course she also deserves to be there. Havoc is fine at 24. I feel like Sunspot Havoc difference should not have been this big, personally. And to have Venom at 25, which means cosmic characters wise, Corvus, Venom the Dark, and Captain Marvel movie above Venom. Again, Venom the Dark should not be above Venom, but besides that, it's fine. I feel like at that time, with robots being really annoying in Act 6 and stuff, Medusa had gained some value, and I'm not sure if Max buff was life in 2020. So if it wasn't, then I think Medusa should have been in place of Venom, but otherwise it's fine. Yeah, I think overall it didn't do a bad job. Better than I expected. I wonder if I do regenerate response, if it comes up with the same list or different list, because it comes up with a completely different list. Cosmic Ghost Rider being a number 1 now. Okay, we won't go into that much detail. Let's see how different this is. Cosmic Ghost Rider being a top is understandable. Was he above Doctor Doom at any point? I don't think so. Elsa Bloodstone should not be this high. Sunspot should not be this high. Captain Marvel movie should not be this high. Venom should definitely not be this high. Void, maybe. He used to be really good at one point. Thing should not be above Void. And now I might even put it, but at that time, no. Aegon is fine. Cap, Infinity War should be above all of these characters, below Human Torch, but above every other Science Champ. Omega Red is fine, but again, should be above, not Apocalypse, but above Sunspot. Yeah. Gilly 2099, agreed. There, she should be Hyperion. Corvus should be above Hyperion and above CMM as well. Ghost should be way on top. Clairvoyant included. Nice. Domino, Archangel, Morningstar I don't think deserves to be on this list unless it's incursion heavy list. Still, to Spider-Man, interesting. Star-Lord should not be in the list, but it's interesting. It came up with a completely different list. I think this one still has equal amount of faults, like Elsa. And like there was Symbiote Supreme, here it's Elsa. But see, this is the inconsistency. If in one list it thinks Symbiote Supreme is number 2, how come the next list is not even there, right? So definitely doesn't make sense if you ask me. But the list it's coming up with is not terrible, like if somebody makes videos out of this as like top 10 characters and say Cosmic Ghost Rider to Venom, people would probably hate on that list, but it's not completely inaccurate. Like these 3 champions are still really on top, Warlock and Apocalypse as well. So they are like the placement itself doesn't make sense that much, but it's not like in a year it might be really accurate, in 5 years probably dead on. So it's gonna be interesting, and I wonder if like you start writing things like in Alliance Quest, in Alliance for Best Champions for a Week, and all those questions. Like, let me ask, should I just have one hand available right now, so I will be asking really slowly. Should I rank up Cosmic Ghost Rider or Venom the Duck in Marvel? I don't know if it will take MCOC of Champions. If it says Venom the Duck, I'm ending the video right there. Where is it? Oh, it gives us the political answer. Okay, let's read it. Interesting. It's giving a lot. So let's see if the advice is good. Cosmic Ghost Rider, high damage potential, agreed. Strong utility, arguable. Excellent survivability, arguable. Unique ability to generate cosmic flames, which deals additional damage, debuffs on the opponent. It include power control. I do think he has some immunity debuff. Okay. I'm not sure how you feel about this description of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Venom the Duck, let's read his. Unique and fun playstyle, agreed. He has ability called Egg Bombs. Spawn a chick that drops explosive eggs on the opponent, dealing massive. Okay, the P2 does massive damage if the opponent has armor ups or something. Regeneration, power control, ability switch. Yeah, Venom the Duck is kind of accurate, I would say. If you're looking for a champion to take on challenging content such as Act 7 or variant, then Cosmic Ghost Rider, better option. Alright, agreed. Due to high damage output, and not sure if utility wise, but okay. However, if you're looking for champion with unique playstyle and fun anime, okay, so it's basically saying rank up Cosmic Ghost Rider, right? Unique animations, fun playstyle, right? So it is saying rank up Cosmic Ghost Rider. So alright, that makes sense. I agree with the ChatGPT right there. Let's ask a slightly tougher question, but still something that is not gonna be super, personal preference thing. Obviously, by the way, if you have to do a rank up decision, the better character is not always going to be the best choice. It is, objectively speaking, it's going to be the best choice, but for you to have fun, it's not necessary. But moving on, let's ask it a slightly tougher question. Should I rank up? Let's copy paste this and change the characters. It's harder to do these things with one hand, especially without mouse. Okay, I'll just write it, never mind. Should I rank up? I know it's gonna be a long video, but it's fun. Like, I'm having fun. Do let me know if you want to see more of these. Should I rank up? Okay, it ranks Symbiote Supreme super high, right? So Symbiote Supreme or Sorcerer Supreme? I feel like if you ask most people, they will say Sorcerer Supreme. So Symbiote Supreme or Sorcerer Supreme. Let's try writing an MCOC. An MCOC. Okay. That's right. Mystic class, both are mystic class. Symbiote Supreme, it says has high damage potential, which I agree with, but again, very certain matchup. Strong utility, I agree. Excellent power, I agree. Ability steal his opponent's buffs, convert them into powerful attack, making him potent. Additionally, Symbiote Supreme has ability to nullify buffs, reduce power gain, generate power forms. What it's saying is not even accurate, but it's not mentioning that this is only in, like, he's ideal only for matchups where the opponent has a lot of buffs. Sorcerer Supreme also mystic. Okay, so it recognizes both are mystic champions. Strong utility, ability to control the battlefield, doesn't really tell anything. Nullify buffs, generate power, place various debuffs on opponent, power lock, power drain. Sorcerer has unique ability cycle through different modes, each different effects and strengths. If you're looking for champion to take on challenge such as Act 7 variant, Symbiote Supreme is a better option and power control. However, if you're looking for champion strong utility, versatility, so at least it doesn't do this like Venom Attack, right? It's not saying to have like fun or good animations. Strong utility and versatility, which I do believe are Sorcerer Supreme's strong suits. But I would say, like, I don't think Symbiote Supreme was that used. Like, if you ask me, who was more used in Act 7 and variants maybe, because variants kind of had lost value while when Sorcerer came up, but Symbiote was, I do believe, good for a few variants. But in Act 7, like, the last place where I personally used my Symbiote Supreme was 6.2 champion. So I'm not sure. It's interesting. I can't completely disagree with this take. You know, if somebody says like that is what we were going for. We wanted to ask the wrong, like the harder question. So do let me know if you agree with ChatGPT here. And even if you don't, you have to admit it is kind of crazy that, like, just a mobile game is giving a lot of detailed advice, which usually, even though if it's not like 100% accurate, it's pretty good. Like, potentially, you know, in a few years, somebody can make Marvel Contest of Champions videos without even playing the game or knowing anything about it, by just making this, write a script for them or something, or rank the character. Like, ranking at that point would not be such a task, you know. Like, look at this. I've been working on a video to rank all the characters. I'm going to rank, like, manually here, cross check with Aunt May, cross check with my previous list. It's gonna be a hectic task, and you know, maybe in a few years you can just ask it to rank all the champions in the game and it will do it for you, and it will be accurate as hell, which is kind of scary thought in one hand, but kind of cool on the other. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Like, share and subscribe. Do let me know if you want more content like this, because I had a lot of fun making this, more than I thought. Like, it would have been fun either ways, but I feel like this is something like I would be very interested in doing in the future again, and with different scenarios and stuff. And maybe if ChatGPT continues to grow and improve, it will get more accurate. It will definitely get more accurate with time. But yeah, happy weekend, happy Sunday to you, and bye bye.